We didn't get it done on the field, so we've decided to go into a new direction.
Washington Commanders are hiring Adam Peters.
I want to thank Adam and his lovely wife Jen and 2 daughters for choosing our franchise.
This is a recalibrate, finding our north again. There is no timeline on that, but we will push it hard.
In the heart of Washington, D.C., a new dawn beacons for Dan Quinn and the Washington Commanders. Despite their recent struggles and the daunting task of a complete rebuild within the franchise, there's an undercurrent of optimism that this team, much like the unlikely Texans of last year, might justify expectations. At the center of this hopeful narrative stands rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels, a polarizing figure whose arrival has been sparking debates across the league for a while now. Skeptics are prominent, with many labeling him a potential bust before he's even taken his first snaps in the league. Yet amidst the skeptics lies the possibility of absolute greatness. Should Daniels find his stride in the pressure-filled spotlight of being a rookie in the NFL, he could rewrite the script entirely.
I would just say as you rep more things, obviously you start getting the grasp of the playbook, but I still got a long way to go to still be where I want to be, try to be a perfectionist as much as possible.
The arrival of Dan Quinn marks a new era in Commanders football, and with him came some amazing upgrades to set Daniels up for success. Austin Eckler joined the team from the Los Angeles Chargers. 9-time Pro Bowler Bobby Wagner has just arrived to bolster the defense, and the Commanders' O-line has just been completely revamped. And now don't get me wrong, because the last few years of the Commanders franchise have been anything but inspirational. In the 2023 season, Washington finished with a 4-13 record and came in dead last in the NFC East. The end result came as no surprise to Washington fans who haven't seen their team finish the year with a record over 500 since the 2016-17 season. The team finished the 2023 season ranked just 24th in total offense, averaging just over 312 yards per game. And to make matters even worse, they had absolutely no defense to help neutralize the pain of the offense.
Rush again. Fields for the end zone. Moore. Touchdown.
Washington allowed 482 points last season, the most by any team in the entire league. In second place came the Cardinals, who allowed 435. So yeah, it wasn't even close to how bad this defense was. Their hope of former UNC quarterback Sam Howell coming in and saving the franchise fell extremely short, as he struggled for the majority of his time as a starter. While he threw for nearly 4,000 yards in the 2023 season, he had a touchdown to interception ratio of 1, ending the season with 21 of each. And when you also consider the fact that he had a quarterback rating of 42.4, it's safe to say that he was not going to be the answer to their problems. So after just one full season as the starting quarterback, the Commanders decided to move on from Howell, who was traded to Seattle in March of 2024.
Commanders are sending their quarterback, Sam Howell, to Seattle in exchange for a 3rd and a 5th in this year's draft.
After removing Howell from the offense, as well as head coach Ron Rivera from the sidelines, the Commanders were ready to continue their rebuild and completely change the narrative around the team.
Fired Ron Rivera, no surprise there. Washington, Ron Rivera is out with the new owner, Josh Harris.
And the first step to completely turning around this franchise was finding their replacement for Sam Howell.
The Washington Commanders select Jayden Daniels, quarterback, LSU.
The Commanders addressed the issue in the 2024 NFL Draft by selecting Heisman Trophy winner Jayden Daniels out of LSU. The most promising thing, or even the most surefire thing that's going to happen, that's going to give them playoff success or even get them into the playoffs in the first place, it's just a lot of hope that brings with a rookie quarterback, just like last year when the Texans drafted CJ Stroud. And now I can't lie, because I have made a video on this, and I've also said it multiple times in all my videos, that I'm in the camp of Jayden Daniels being a bust, and I don't really think that he's going to be that great in the NFL. But I mean, there are still some exciting things that can be said about this kid. Like, as a dual threat quarterback, Jayden Daniels, probably of all the quarterbacks drafted, definitely is the best one, and obviously can be very dangerous when he is given that dual threat offense. Jayden ran for over 3,000 yards in his 5-year college career, including an 1,100 yard effort in his final season with LSU. This gives him an uncanny ability to create a play out of absolutely nothing. And while he is slim in size and weighing in at about 210 pounds at a height of 6'4", his ability to elude defenders and his elite deep ball accuracy should suit him well when handling pressure in the pocket. If Daniels can navigate the pressures of NFL defenses, utilize his offense, and fully harness his skill set, we could see another season like that of CJ Stroud last year. A rookie year marked by resilience, unexpected triumphs, and potentially even an Offensive Rookie of the Year award.
And the 2023 AP Rookie of the Year is Family Ties, CJ Stroud.
But none of that is going to happen if the surrounding talent around him and just on the Commanders roster doesn't step up as well. And I mean, even though they did finish with like a measly 4 wins last year in 2023, this offense does have some pretty interesting pieces that, if they do go the right way, could have a very explosive and a very elite offense too. On the offensive side of the ball, there are already a few players who have been within the Washington system for multiple seasons who could help Jayden Daniels look like an absolute stud in his rookie season. Terry McLaurin enters his 6th year with Washington and has the potential to make any quarterback look good. The former Buckeye just completed his 4th straight 1,000-yard season with the Commanders, and he did it with a subpar season performance from Sam Howell. McLaurin is well known for being able to effectively run any route given to him, and whether it's a quick post or a deep ball 50 yards down the field, Scary Terry knows how to get open.
It's scary he hasn't been on it soon.
Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
And with Daniels' deep ball ability, which we saw countless times at LSU, this could be one of the league's best dynamic duos for the foreseeable future. Daniels will also have the up-and-coming 3rd-year receiver Jahan Dotson to help. Dotson is also an effective route runner, but has so far not lived really up to the hype, as he was drafted in the 2022 draft to form an elite wide receiver duo with McLaurin, but just hasn't discovered his full potential yet. He's had 2 seasons with just over 500 yards in each and needs to make a statement in 2024 if he wants to secure a spot on this roster in the future. And it's safe to say that Daniels is going to be a part of a solid run game too to make this offense two-dimensional. While the addition of Austin Eckler is the biggest story in the Washington running back room, they still have a great running back too in Brian Robinson Jr. The 3rd-year back out of Alabama has looked promising in his first 2 seasons and produced over 1,100 yards of total offense and 9 total touchdowns in just 15 games last season.
This is Robinson breaking free. Robinson breaking tackles, breaking free. Robinson still going. 1st and goal, Robinson, and he is in for the Washington touchdown.
The ability to transition between Eckler, Robinson, and Daniels in the run game is going to be a nightmare for defenses in the NFC East. And I mean, guys like Dotson, Robinson, and even McLaurin have all contributed to this Washington franchise over the past couple of years. But the pieces that the front office and just Dan Quinn went out and got this offseason are truly going to be a difference maker to see if this Commanders team can really get to that next level. Now, as I stated earlier, the first and most notable offseason signing was former LA Charger running back Austin Eckler. Washington signed Eckler to a 2-year contract worth just over $11 million, which is great value for a talented running back. And entering his 8th NFL season, Eckler will be an amazing veteran locker room presence, not only for Robinson, but all of the young pieces on the Commanders offense. The 1-2 punch of Eckler and Robinson Jr. will work wonders for Washington, who now have 2 backs that can not only run the ball, but are also great as receivers. The duo will give offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury plenty of creative freedom when strategizing on this offense too. Eckler led the NFL in combined rushing and receiving touchdowns in 2021 and 2022, but dropped to 6 last season after he only played 14 games. He's coming into this season with a chip on his shoulder, wanting to prove he still has a lot of what it takes to be an elite back after seeing a decline in numbers last season. And because he still has never made a Pro Bowl roster, this looks like the year that he finally can earn that honor, especially if he can stay healthy. And I mean, in addition to adding Eckler to this roster, the Commanders absolutely killed it in this last year's draft. CBS Sports wrote that the first 5 picks by GM Adam Peters were sensational and called it Denzel Washington's man on fire type of stuff from the Commanders' new GM. After picking up Daniels with the 2nd overall pick, Peters and the Washington front office went off in the 2nd round of the draft. With the 36th overall pick, the Commanders grabbed a defensive tackle from Illinois who was ranked the 2nd best defensive tackle in this class.
36th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Jazon Newton, defensive tackle, Illinois.
His pre-draft analysis lists him as a disruptive run defender with outstanding instincts and hands. He reads his keys, locates the ball, slips or gets off blocks, and wraps up as a tackler, and has the explosive power and low center of gravity to anchor one-on-one. With star defensive tackles Jonathan Allen and Darian Payne already in Washington, Newton will have plenty of time to grow and develop before needing to step out and lead the defensive line, learning from some of the best in the game too. They followed that pickup by selecting Mike Sanristil out of the University of Michigan with the 50th overall pick, coming off of his national championship year.
The Washington Commanders select Mike Sanristil, defensive back, Michigan.
My goodness gracious.
One of the biggest holes in the Commanders defense that needed to be filled this year was the nickel cornerback position, and they just got the perfect guy. While he only stands at about 5'9", his IQ is at the top of his class, and he was one of the best in the nation at the college level at locking up receivers from the slot. With the addition of 9-time Pro Bowl linebacker Bobby Wagner, this defense should be a heck of a lot better than what we saw last year, and take a huge load of pressure off of Daniels and the Commanders' offense in the process. And while we talked a lot about the stuff or just the moves that they made on the field this past offseason, one area of improvement that deserves a little bit more love is the management that they just completely had an overhaul with too. The front office and coaching staff have changed tremendously over the past few months, and it looks like it's changed for the better. In his 4 seasons at the helm in Washington, head coach Ron Rivera finished with a 26-40-1 record with a total of 0 winning seasons. After failing to improve the franchise during his tenure and arguably make it worse, the Rivera era has officially come to an end. To replace him, the Commanders have brought in Dan Quinn. Quinn arrives in Washington after finishing a 3-year tenure as a defensive coordinator with the Dallas Cowboys, where he made a huge positive impact from the second he arrived. In Quinn's first season as the Cowboys defensive coordinator in 2021, the team finished atop the NFC East with a 12-5 record. Quinn's defenses with the Cowboys also led the league in turnovers from 2021 to 2023. Quinn brought over former Cowboys secondary coach Joe Witt Jr. to be the new defensive coordinator, and even more impressively, landed former Cardinals head coach Cliff Kingsbury as the Commanders' new offensive coordinator. As we all know, the background with Kingsbury is that he played as a quarterback at Texas Tech and even played in the NFL for a few seasons before beginning his coaching career at the University of Houston in 2008. He should be the perfect companion for Daniels as he begins his NFL journey as well too, as Cliff is coming off of a 2023 season where he worked as a senior offensive analyst with the USC Trojans, and yep, you guessed it, Caleb Williams. The 2022 Heisman Trophy winner thrived in his short time with Kingsbury, and there's no reason to believe he won't have the same effect on Daniels. The Commanders will be hoping that Quinn's arrival can have a similar effect of that to DeMeco Ryans in Houston last season, who miraculously propelled the Texans to success in his first season as a head coach. And while Jayden Daniels will need to exceed expectations if the Commanders want to seriously contend for a top spot in the NFC East, the similarities with Houston are clear to see. The new leadership is coinciding with the exciting new quarterback to redefine what the franchise stands for and how they are going to succeed. With Dan Quinn steering the ship and Daniels and McLaurin poised to ignite the offense, there's a palpable sense of renewal in DC. Much like the Texans' unexpected surge last season, Washington has the potential to surprise the entire league. The additions of seasoned veterans like Austin Eckler and Bobby Wagner bolster their roster, while coaching upgrades promise a revitalized approach. If Daniels can exceed expectations like CJ Stroud did for Houston, the Commanders may indeed shock the NFL. But I want to know what you guys think. How good do you think the Commanders are going to be this upcoming season? Honestly, for me, I don't think they're going to be that great. I don't believe in Jayden Daniels. As I said, though, there are a lot of exciting things going on in Washington right now, but I still think that they're missing too many pieces. And I mean, they might shock everybody and completely ruin me and just prove me wrong, but I don't see that happening. I think they're still like a 6-win team at best, if that. But let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. And if you guys haven't, make sure you join my Discord in the link in the description. That is where we are going to be doing all of our NCAA dynasties, all of our NFL fantasy leagues, and all of the things this NFL season. So make sure you join there. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next one.